Hey there, Facebook. It is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer, and coach from Live, Love, Give. And today I'm bringing you a message, something that I was kind of just scrolling through all the notes, the thousands of notes that I have on my iPhone. It's where I capture everything. If I'm listening to something, if I'm reading something, if I'm going through a course, if I'm learning something, and I'm like, that's like really, really valuable and interesting and I want to think more into it, I jot it down in my notes section, hence the thousands of notes. And I was just going through that today, and one of the things that popped into my mind of value when I was recently going back through attachment theory, all my work on that, and I'd done it a few years ago, but when I was traveling, I think I was still in Paris, and I was like, oh, I really need to go back to that, and I really needed to work out some different things with that based on what was going on in my life. And one of the things that popped into my mind, which is today's message, is ultimately that we are only as needy as our unmet needs. And I thought this was just like, oh my gosh, like that is such a good thing to think about in our relationships, either within ourselves, if we think that we're like, oh, we're too needy, or if we have people around us that we're like, oh, like get away from me, like you're way too needy, right? Instead of thinking about it as just this like, oh, like label it, you're needy, you're not needy, you know, and then just repelling each other and not really having any empowerment to do anything about it. This concept about somebody being only as needy as their unmet needs can really serve us in twofold. So I definitely want to dive into that and bring that to you guys. So number one, if we are only as needy as our unmet needs and we feel like the other person in potentially relationship is too needy and we're like, they repel us, and honestly, like I had a bit of this experience, and that's what kind of got me to go back to the attachment theory, because I was like, oh my God, like I this person who I was originally attracted to is now feeling like there's just too much neediness, and it's like making me want to run away and disconnect, and I'm just not into it, right? And I'm sure we've all had those experiences. And so I kind of like, you know, none of us want to feel like that. We all want to feel like fully engaged and immersed in some other human being, and we don't want to be repelled, right? We like to feel attracted. And so I thought, okay, I really need to do some work on this. I want to work out like how am I contributing to this situation? And that's why this quote stood out, that another person is not innately needy, they're only as needy as their unmet needs. Given, yes, of course, you've got to meet your own needs, but secondly, in relationship, if you're in relationship with somebody that you feel is being too needy, instead of labeling them and making it their problem, instead look at how am I contributing to this situation? What unmet needs are going on for this other human being? How have I been, you know, just not showing up, not stepping up to the plate? What could I be doing that would allow this person to have their needs actually met? That's the purpose of relationship, you know, is to fulfill and exceed and expand upon each other's needs and make life enhanced, you know, outside of just being single and on your own. And when I kind of could resonate with that, it made me, instead of judging another person, look at myself and go, oh, okay, what's driving that needy behavior is that they're not feeling that, you know, they're not feeling certainty here. So how is it that I'm creating uncertainty, too much uncertainty for them? And how could I go about adding more certainty to their life so that they would no longer be in that needy way of being, you know? And so I really love looking at relationships from the perspective of, instead of labeling, or if you're gonna label, then look at how you're contributing to that scenario. And then secondly, if you feel like you are the needy person and you really get worried about being too needy all the time, then ultimately it's about two things. Number one, what are the needs going unmet that you should and could be meeting for yourself as a healthy, full, rounded out individual? And what do you need to do about going about fulfilling those? And then secondly, what are the unmet needs that you're kind of not communicating fully to your partner in a way that they can actually feel successful in fulfilling for you, rather than just another have to and feeling criticized because they're obviously not doing anything right. So it's a kind of like openness to look at yourself, empower yourself, and then open the lines of communication. If you're the person who's like, oh, they're so needy, and like now you've gotten empowered and seen how you're contributing to the circumstance. You've put yourself in their shoes. You can see what needs aren't being met and how you could be best meeting them. Next step, communicate and fulfill. You're a team. It's not you against me and like, oh, like they're taking away something from me, or I feel criticized, I feel not good enough. No, you're a team. That's why you're in a relationship, and you're trying to create something more extraordinary than you could create on your own. So see that other person as your teammate. You're on the same team. You're working towards the same things. You're judging them, you're criticizing them, you're beating down on them, you're beating down on yourself and your ultimate goal as well. So take on that responsibility and definitely own it and communicate about it. And secondly, if you're the person who feels like you're just needy all the time, and you've gone about empowering yourself by working out what unmet needs are creating the sense of neediness that you as a healthy individual could be fulfilling for yourself. And then secondly, you've identified and still leave room for your partner to fulfill on your needs. We don't want to create such independence that it's just two totally independent people saying they're in a relationship, but actually they're not really contributing and having that overlap that is where the extraordinary is born. And so we want to be careful not to completely close off from our partners out of fear of being too needy or out of fear that they're too needy. We want to open the lines of communication and make our partners feel totally successful and fulfilled. And I absolutely love what John Gottman would say. Anytime you're going to communicate about something that you would like to see a change in your relationship, particularly your intimate relationship, because it brings up the most fears, then use the 5-to-1 rule. For every supposed negative, like the thing that you want to change, you got to give 5 positives. So let them know, your intention for the conversation. Hey, I just wanted to chat to you about something that I've really been thinking about that I know could take our relationship to a whole new level, and I can't wait to feel more connected to you. Are you open to chatting to me about that? And then secondly, if they're open to it, awesome. And then go for 5 amazing things. Right now in our relationship, like I love how you do this, and this, or you're this kind of person. And I'm so grateful to be in relationship with somebody who's exactly like this. Build them up with 5 positives and then go. And there's just this one thing that I feel like if we could make a shift here, it would just completely take our relationship to this whole more amazing level, and I'd feel incredibly fulfilled and connected to you. Guaranteed, any human being who's been filled up with 5 amazing positives is absolutely, they're like, of course, and you've hit them as a team. You're not like, you have been doing this wrong, and that needs to change, and it's all on you, all right? Step up your game, all right? Nobody's motivated by that. But instead, you've filled them up with everything that is extraordinary about them, that you love about them, and hey, here's a solution to taking things even further. They're already built up, their defense mechanisms are down, and that's how you want to deal with somebody who you ultimately want to create a life with. So I'm absolutely really hoping that me sharing this message with you guys is of value, definitely of value in my own life, and working on not getting turned off by supposed neediness, and instead looking at how I'm contributing to that circumstance, how I'm putting up walls that are making another person feel needy, What is the quote? Rejection breeds obsession. It's such a brilliant quote to think about, how an otherwise healthy individual can get obsessive when they feel like they've been rejected. And it's the same thing that breeds that neediness, you know, and nobody wants to feel like that. Nobody wants to be turned off by that. So go about working as a team, and I nearly choked to death then. I absolutely hope that today's message is definitely serving you. I really want to check in with you guys, so make sure that you are dropping me a hey and a hello. Let me know where in the world you are tuning in from, and definitely any questions or any words of wisdom that you have to share with our amazing team today. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. So drop a comment below if you're listening live now, or if you're listening to the recording, still drop those comments and those questions, and I'll definitely get back to you as well. So let me check in. Who have I got? I've got Carolina and Lucy, yay, and Joseph and Judy and Clinton and Marjorie. There was no sound. Oh my gosh, I should probably check these comments as I'm going, but I'm assuming the sound has been working. Let me know, because you guys have been commenting. Maybe your sound was down, Marjorie, I don't know, but let me know. And Dexter is here, and Sanford's back. I love it. And Gabrielle, so good to see you. And howdy to you, Sanford, and Lisa. And hey, Gabrielle, so good to see you guys. And Rob, love it. Always write it. I just paused Eckhart Tolle for you. Oh, feel privileged. No needs. God provides all. Appreciate over expectation. Tell Tony I said hi. I love it. I love it, Rob. And I feel very privileged that you actually put Eckhart Tolle, the brilliant, incredible Eckhart Tolle, on hold for me, for little old me. So I hope it was of value for you and well worth it. And I love that you're into the work of Eckhart Tolle as well. So good to see you, Rob. And Gary's here, and Andre, hello to you. And Aaron's here, and Vanessa, yay. And Nick's in the house, and Edgar. Hi, Vanessa, sending you love from Chihuahua, Mexico. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm always super grateful to have you, Edgar. Thank you so much, my friend. And Rob, if we need anything to make us happy, are we truly happy? Love your contribution. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, so, you know, I like to think about happiness like everybody's trying to chase happiness, right? You know, if you ask people what they want, they just want to be happy. But that's only ever one side of a two-sided equation that's never going to be anything but two sides. Like, you can't have happiness without sadness. Happiness is a fleeting emotion. So instead of going for happiness and needing something to be happy, in actual fact, what we should be going for is fulfillment. And fulfillment comes from living authentically, being grateful for all that you're doing, contributing and growing. You know, growing yourself as an individual and contributing your gifts for the betterment of this world in whatever regard that is uniquely for you. So so I hope that was part of the conversation for you there, Rob. And Josie and Rob, expectation crushes the dream. Absolutely. A brilliant book on this from the amazing Christine Hassler is Expectation Hangover. Because that's exactly what expectations do to us. They literally create a hangover effect. Whenever we've got expectations, we can never feel grateful because we've just expected it. You know, there's no appreciation because, yeah, it should have been like that, right? So, and definitely we can be totally let down. So it's about having vision for what would really fulfill you and striving and working towards that from a place of authenticity, but being grateful and appreciative for all that is and the journey, you know, and not getting stuck in that cloud of expectation. Absolutely, Rob. Such words of wisdom. And loving that you're loving it, Vanessa. And Alex is here. And Rob, love connection, significant certainty, uncertainty, growth, contribution. Easy if you priority of these doesn't line up, find someone in which they do. Yeah, so if you want to look at the way that Tony Robbins looks at the 6 human needs, if you guys aren't familiar with the 6 human needs, let me know, drop me a comment, and I will link you up to a couple of Facebook Live videos I did over a year ago to outline what they are. But ultimately, what Tony would talk about is that we have a hierarchy of the 6 human needs, the ones that have just been listed by Rob there. So certainty, uncertainty, love and connection, significance, growth, and contribution. And we have them listed in a hierarchy. And what Tony Robbins would say is that, we have the top two are what really determine everything in our life, and most of things in our life, right? We determine our life and everything that we do through meeting these these needs, in particular this order. And when we're in intimate relationship with somebody, Tony Robbins would teach that at least one of your top two needs to be the same. It doesn't matter what order, but it makes life a whole lot easier if you have some overlap and alignment there. So yes, absolutely, Rob, love it. And Jeff's here as well, and Gregory and Ellen, hello, and Robert, hello to you. Oh, you're so kind. Thank you so much for those beautiful, kind words. And Samuel's here. And Pankaj, gorgeous lady with pretty voice and an amazing, interested new topic each and every time. I love that you are getting value from these messages, Pankaj. Thank you so much for showing up. So appreciate you. And Adnan is here, and Doug, cool, your eyes and shirt are the same color. Great talk. Need to tell my wife this. Oh, I love that, Doug. And that brings up the fact that I love it when you guys share any of this content that you feel is of value. Share it with your friends, with your family, with people in your life, in any communities that if it's valuable, that is absolutely, there is no better gift that you could give me than sharing anything that you find of value. So thank you, Doug, and thanks for those kind words. And I love that you'll be sharing it with your wife. And Rob, fulfillment is it all, bliss is the goal. Yeah. So absolutely, I love that. And if you can get into I really recommend, if you're not already, Rob, to get into the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza and check out how our brain waves can get into that bliss state, bringing the science behind all this personal development stuff that we're always talking into. I personally love his work, and just because you brought up bliss, and I'm like, oh, that's the ultimate state. That is the ultimate vibrational frequency that he talks into and brings the science behind. So it's not all woo-woo and like talking about it, which oftentimes is like a wall up for a lot of people in the world. Instead, he brings it and backs the science behind it. So I'm sure if you're not already all over his work, you'll definitely love it, Rob. And Gabrielle, there is no I in team. You got it, girlfriend. I love it. And I love that you're loving the 5-to-1. And Ellen, thanks for your help. You are so welcome, my friend. And I love that you're from Queensland. Love it. Used to live up there a couple of years ago, back in 2015. I lived up in Noosa, beautiful Noosa, for a while. So love it up there. And Nick, my needs are communication with day-to-day things. The needs I cannot meet, which my partner needed me being home, but I need to be gone for my job. I spend 100% of my home time of 7 days a month to my partner. I feel it's not worth keeping because my partner isn't open and I'm not able to be around enough to make her feel connected. She claims she doesn't want a phone relationship. She said she is not willing to contact me enough during the day. Yeah, relationships are tough, and I so appreciate your openness and your courage and your vulnerability to share your current experience, Nick. And absolutely, this is a big one for people. Just recently, just to share a little bit of my journey, over this last year where I've had like a couple of different things going on in terms of relationship and being more open to getting beyond space and time and being able to build and establish a connection with somebody that's not just in the physical realm, which would be unheard of to my past self. Like, it was just like, if I'm in a relationship with you, I'm going to be around you every minute of every day. And as I've grown and evolved and, really love what I'm doing in my own life, I've been able to establish depth of connection outside of being in each other's physical presence all the time. And it's given with the job that I have, I'm working with my clients from all around the world, and I go really profoundly deep with them, and I've never met them in the physical flesh, so I don't actually at this stage in my life believe that we can't create an extraordinary quality of relationship, if we're not in each other's physical presence all the time, but You know, we're all different human beings and we all have those unmet needs. And if it's, you know, we've got those things that are musts and we've got those things that we can kind of like shift and change on. So, you know, there might be a stage of out of alignment with this. And if it's a long-term thing, you know, if it's a must for her and it's a long-term thing that you're going to find yourself in the position of only being able to spend 7 days a month with a partner who has a must of physical presence, a lot more than that, then it is a lack of alignment there. And it's something that, you know, either I don't like. This is where we go funny, because I don't like the word compromise at all. I like knowing exactly what you want and being fully aligned with what's authentic and most healthy and self-loving for you, and they're doing the same over here. And then we find alignment. We can find how we're on the same page with these different things, and we can see how this thing that they really want will actually fulfill and make us more healthy versions of ourselves as well. You know, it's finding not the compromise, but the alignment, the authentic alignment. So, you know, I hope that transition for you, Nick, you're doing some work on that. Please do reach out. I know you're part of the masterclasses. If you ever want some actual coaching where I can go really deep with you, then that's why I've opened up the group coaching, because as you guys know, I've said a million times, my one-on-one coaching is very limited. It's really high price. I can't work with everybody. That's why I opened the group coaching classes, which is only $58 a month. That's it. And, you know, we're such a small, close-knit team. I love my little team. You guys are such superstars, and it opens the doors for a tenth of the price to come in and get some actual coaching and get the support from an amazing community that's not just in the masterclasses, but beyond that, the people who are going super deep. So I invite you to check that out if I can be of deeper help for you, Nick. And I so appreciate you, my friend. And Lucy, thank you so much for your kind compliment. And I'm loving that you're loving the 5-to-1 rule as well. Works a treat. And Chrissy's here. And Lucy, love is a gift, but never should just be expected. You got it. Absolutely. Expectations kill everything. You know, you can either have expectation or appreciation. You know, one is super inspiring and motivating, and the other just like makes you not even really want to try, right? So we want to bring out the best in ourselves and others. That's why. Amazing quote from Tony Robbins, trade your expectations for appreciation and your whole world changes in an instant. So love that. And Ellen, you are so welcome. And Dwan, thank you for another great message. You're so welcome too. Beautiful. And Bill's here. And Rob, love him. Dr. Joe is amazing. I thought you might. I had a hunch that you'd probably be all over his work, Rob. I love it. And Gabrielle, so lovely seeing you so vibrant and re-energized. Thank you, Gabrielle. Oh my God, it is so amazing to just be home in my own environment. So I'm feeling really energized today, and I so appreciate you being here, beautiful. And Andre, you're a real good speaker. Thank you, my friend. I'm grateful that my message is getting out to you and you're finding it valuable. And Danya's here, and Ray and Brian, greetings from NJ. I love it. Never been to New Jersey, so I would absolutely love to check it out one day. And I always appreciate you being here, Brian. And Nick, you answered the questions I have. Love. Absolutely. I love that, Nick. Thank you so much. And Vanessa, drop the expectations. Boom. Just what I needed to hear. Me too, every single day, because I can get caught up in expectation hangovers all the time. So I absolutely am so grateful for each and every one of you guys for joining me today. You guys rock my world. You energize me. I don't know if you notice how my energy just increases the more of you are here and you're engaging and you're asking questions and you're sharing your words of wisdom. So I just want to thank you so much for the impact that you guys always have on my life. And it's great to be back. And Nick, I love your energy. You seem to be very refreshed. Thank you, Nick. I've been doing a lot of growth. I've had some major challenges going on, but definitely seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, like I said, No place like home. So as always, guys, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary. You're doing something really empowering and that today's message has definitely served you. And as always, I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Sending you much love.